when you toe the line for a race, it's the most exciting feeling. When you're on the starting line at the beginning of the race, it's like you're a racehorse. You're like a caged animal. You got all that energy, and like you can't use it until the gun goes off. So when I think about it, the gun is what sets you free, and you just go.
The way I got into running was in gym class. We always had to run the mile, and that was pretty much the only running competition we'd really ever do, and I was always pretty good at that. So by the time I got into middle school, my middle school principal was one of the cross-country coaches for the high school, and my older sister was on the high school cross-country team as an 8th grader. I guess he kind of took from it that she was pretty good at it, and I was pretty decent at running, that, you know, maybe I'd pan out and make it on the team. So that year I joined like our modified middle school cross-country team. I was like 13 or so. I did pretty okay. You know, I was usually the top 2 or 3 guys on the team, usually like top 10 or 15 in the races. So it seemed pretty cool at that point in time. Success for me started coming my sophomore year in high school. After I ran cross country and indoor track again, that outdoor season they had a new event to try and put me in. It was the 400 hurdles. That year I ended up winning my first sectionals championship as a sophomore, missed making the state meet by just 0.2 of a second. So that kind of made me really hungry to try and improve on that my junior year. So after cross country ended again, it was time for an indoor season, and I went back to running the 600. And that year I really started kind of coming into my own and learning how to race, and just, you know, becoming a little bit older and stronger. That year I won, you know, another sectional championship, won our state qualifiers, and made it to the state meet for my first time. Going into the state meet, I was ranked 14th in the state, and, you know, just going into the meet, you know, just trying to have fun, and, you know, it was my first state championship, so I just didn't really have any expectations. Well, you know, with 200 meters left in my race, I just felt good and took off, and I ended up winning. So that was really exciting, getting my first state championship. And from there, it all just kind of steamrolled, you know, up into college. By the time I graduated high school, I had won 5 state championships, 4 federation titles. I started getting heavy recruitment from across the country. I was ranked 4th in the U.S. in the 800 indoors. I was I believe top 5 in the 600 outdoors. My times were pretty good as well. And I ended up accepting a scholarship to the University of Albany. Well, after I graduated high school and was going off to college, I felt pretty lucky because there's only a small percentage of athletes that get to go on to compete at a Division I level after high school. So I was, you know, pretty excited about it. So when I got in there my freshman year, you know, just kind of experiencing college for the first time, and track began to take a little bit of a backseat to the social life. It was kind of a disappointing year now that I look back on it, because it was kind of a year I feel I wasted, you know, track-wise. I kind of degressed my times. I started running slower than what I was running in high school. So that summer, my college coach sat down with me. He's like, listen, you know, we're gonna have you run cross country this year, you know, hopefully get you in a little bit better shape, and, you know, hopefully things will go a little bit better this year. And I think that really kind of lit a fire under me, and I realized that from what he was telling me, that I have all this talent that I haven't tapped yet, and I can be so much better than what I've been. And that year, I really kind of turned it around. That year I ended up as a sophomore breaking, you know, our college's school records in the 800 and the 1000, a couple other school records throughout the year, just as a sophomore. From there, it just went off. By the time I graduated, I had won multiple IC4A titles. I believe our conference title I'd won in different events 13 or 14 different times. I was an NCAA All-American. And I'd start getting calls from a couple coaches around the country asking me, you know, when I was done running collegiately, if I'd want to come out and train with them. And I took the opportunity to move out to Oregon and be coached by Frank Gagliano. He's one of the top, most famous middle distance coaches to ever come out of the U.S.
The hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. It's so hard. Anyone who runs the 800, you're crazy.
End of June was the Olympic trials, and leading up to it, I just missed it by about 0.3 of a second, which was really disappointing. It was really disappointing because I was just coming into really my training, and everything was really turning around, and I just had a few bad races leading up to it, you know, and a lot of stuff, you know, just kind of outside my control. So that was really disappointing.